I look shiny as fuck. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Book Nook. It's been a minute, I know. I just haven't really read anything that I've deemed worthy of a review, in my humble opinion. But I read a book this past couple of weeks that I literally fell in love with. I can't say enough good things about it. And that book is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Yeah, I know, I'm super late on the Caraval train, or Caraval. I think Caraval is how she was pronouncing it in her interviews. I'm stalking you, sorry. Caraval is about two sisters, one named Donatella, she's the youngest, and one named Scarlett, she's the oldest. These two sisters dream about going to Caraval all their lives. They have a super abusive father, both mentally and physically, and their dream is to just break away from the hell that they're living in and run away to Caraval. And as luck would have it, they get to play out that fantasy. Scarlett writes to the master legend who kind of runs Caraval. He's kind of like this master of ceremonies of Caraval. She writes to him for years, and finally he writes her back and invites her to Caraval. And that's kind of like the jump off point.
The jump off right here, man.
I literally can't say enough good things about this book. I'm tired of hearing, oh, the beginning it was so slow, it was paced too slow in the beginning. It's a young adult fantasy. The world is different. You need a couple of chapters to sit and explain like what their world is like. What kind of world can we compare this to in our own minds so that we can get a mental picture of it. Give these authors a break. But the great thing about Stephanie Garber is she is so in tune with the aura of things, and she's so descriptive with her words, and it's kind of like you just kind of like fall in love with the writing itself. She can write about how colors taste and things that you would never think about, but you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense in your head. It's just so, she writes about things like so fantastical. The reason why I started reading Caraval, or got interested in it in the first place, was because Bookables said that if you like the Hazelwood, you would probably like Caraval. And I really love the Hazelwood, so I was like, I'll give it a try. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. If you like the Hazelwood, you will definitely like Caraval, and kind of vice versa. So yes, I know I'm late. I'm like a year late in realizing this, but the whole reason why I was like, well, I'll read this book because the sequel to it comes out on May 29th. So if I really like it, then I won't have to wait like a year to read more. And Stephanie Garber just announced that there will be a third book in the series, and it will be the finale of this trilogy. So that's super exciting. I'm super excited about it. And I haven't even read the second book yet. Also, I'm crazy, and in addition to getting the hardcover, which is gorgeous and comes with its little like secret teardrop, I went out 2 weeks ago? Yeah, week and a half ago, and got the paperback of Caraval because the paperback just came out in bookstores near you. If you have the hardcover, going out and getting the softcover paperback is probably ideal for you if you really love this book, because this version of the book comes with 2 chapters of Legendary, the first 2 chapters. So like the day the book came out, I was like at Barnes & Noble in my pajamas because I was not feeling good, and I was like, I need this book just to read the 2 chapters. But in addition to the 2 chapters, she also gives you the first beginnings of the letters, like her first drafts, her false starts, as she titles it here in the book. So it gives you kind of like an insight to her process, which if you're a book nerd like me, like you'll enjoy it. If not, then maybe it's not for you. But the thing that I was most excited, I thought it was gonna be like, oh my gosh, I get to read the first 2 chapters, which was awesome. But she also includes in the paperback version a playlist, which you'll know if you watch my review on the Hazelwood that I create these like playlists for the books that I read. And I was we're like this. Me and Stephanie Garber were like this. Half of the song in her playlist I would listen to while I was reading Caraval without even knowing it. Also, I saw in an interview that she did that her whole vibe was kind of like the new modern Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio that I believe Baz Luhrmann directed, which makes sense because my vibe when I was reading it was actually Moulin Rouge, which is also another Baz Luhrmann film. So yeah, kind of a match. So yeah, I do recommend getting the paperback if you already have the hardback cover. If nothing else, just for the special features. Like, she added special features into her book. How cool is that? And it gives you an actual incentive to go out and get the paperback. But now that I do have the hardback cover and I am going to read it again one more time before Legendary comes out because I'm obsessed, like I said before, I'm gonna give the paperback to my mom. A little Mother's Day present for her. Just want this book for the special features and you already have the hardcover. Read the special features and then give it as a gift. Now to the playlist. The artist that comes to mind when thinking about Caraval is definitely Florence and the Machine. For me personally, I listened to a lot of Florence while reading this book, before it, during, and after. I don't know if that really had any, I think that kind of like set the vibe for me, because Florence and the Machine is very like fantastical and experimental, and there's a lot of things going on in her videos, so definitely Florence and the Machine. I will link the playlist down below so that you can enjoy that music while you read, even though you've probably read this book by now. And I will also link the author's information down below so you can go check them out, give them a like, follow them on Twitter and the Instagrams and all the things. And if you haven't already, go get Caraval, read it, love it, or don't love it, and let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like. If you did not like this video, give it a dislike. And I'll see you guys next time.